Hey, what is going on, guys? So today we're checking out the PlayArt Kai Final Fantasy VII Remake Aerith. And I've got to say, this is such a nice figure. I would say this is almost the best remake figure that PlayArt Kai have made. So I'm super excited to share it with you guys. And with that being said, let's get into the review. Alright, stay tuned, guys.
Take it slow.
Okay, so first up, let's take a look at the packaging. So on the front we have a very high quality photo of the figure itself. And right over here we have the Final Fantasy VII Remake and PlayArt Kai logos. And so on the sides of the packaging we have, once again, the logo for the game, and it's pretty much the exact same on the other side. Now as for the back, we have a couple of screenshots of the figure itself in various poses. And down here we have some credits on the making of the figure. So on the inside of the packaging, once again we have a super high quality photo of the figure itself, of Aerith, inside the church. Really nice shot. It's very iconic scene. And down here we have a bit of text. So if you guys want to read this, then by all means, feel free to pause and read. I just hope you guys can make it out. And right over here we have the figure itself in a very nice window display packaging to showcase the figure inside the box with all the accessories. Okay, so here's a look at the accessories that come with the figure. So we have two pairs of interchangeable faceplates. We have quite a few pairs of hands, and down here we have this super awesome accessory, which is the basket of flowers, which I'm really happy that they included this because we've been waiting for this accessory for such a long time now. Right over here we have the staff, and of course we have the figure itself. Very nice piece. And right over here we have the display stand, which comes with the figure, and of course we have the packaging. And down here we have the instructions on how to assemble the faceplates. So yeah, that's a quick look at the accessories. Let's take a closer look at the figure. Okay, and so I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at my entire PlayArt Kai Final Fantasy VII Remake and AC figure collection. So yeah, these are all the figures that I have from Final Fantasy VII. So I will have a review of every single figure here. So if you guys want to check it out, then it will be on the channel. So don't forget to subscribe and be sure to ring that bell notification so you guys don't miss out on all these remake figure reviews. So yeah, that's a look at my entire collection. Let's go right ahead and take a closer look at the PlayArt Kai Remake Aerith. Stay tuned, guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the figure. And I mean, guys, I've got to say, this is such a nice head sculpt. You know, as I mentioned before, I would say this is probably the best remake figure that PlayArt Kai have made. It just turned out so nicely, and the figure pretty much has like no issues. At least I don't see any issues with the figure. I think it pretty much turned out perfect. So yes, I'm very happy with this figure. I would say it's got a pretty good resemblance to how she looked in the game. Of course it's not 100%, but you know, I would say it's a pretty good match. It's probably the best sculpt of Aerith that we've had. So as you can see, her eyes are painted a very bright green, which looks amazing. I think the eyes stand out a lot more on this Aerith figure compared to the Tifa. You know, it's just a lot more vibrant, the paint job on this figure. I mean, the Tifa figure was pretty good, but it did have some issues. As you guys know, I just think they did a much better job on this Aerith. You can even make out like all the eyelashes and the eyebrows painted in there, and even the lips have a bit of gloss painted over them. It looks very nice. As for the hairpiece, it's also pretty nicely sculpted. You can make out all the strands of hair sculpted in there. So as you can see, we have this necklace piece, and this is sculpted directly onto the figure, so you cannot move it, which is a bit of a shame. I really wish that they sculpted this as, you know, as a separate piece. And so here's a look at the sculpting on the body piece. And as you can see, she's wearing this long pink dress piece. And I was pretty surprised at the level of sculpting. I mean, it looks pretty realistic, all the folds and creases sculpted in there. Very nicely done. She also has this pretty iconic red jacket piece. It looks like it's almost made out of denim, which is really impressive. And of course we have like all the zips, all the pockets and pouches sculpted in there. So here's a look at this very nice accessory, the basket of flowers. So I'm not sure of the specific name of these flowers. If someone can help me out what they're called, it would really help out a lot. But yeah, we do have quite a nice selection of flowers in here. We have these yellow flowers at the front, and we even have these pink ones at the side here. Very, very nice. I even think we have some white flowers in the center. Yeah, very nice accessory. I'm very happy with this. And in the other hand, we have the hand holding the flower, which he gives to Cloud at the start of the game. And the figure even has these bracelets on the side of her wrist. And these are actually made out of a separate piece of plastic. So I just thought that was a really nice touch, and same goes for the other wrist. So moving down here to the dress piece. I mean, it is a very simple design, but it just works so well. And here we have the boots. I mean, it's a very funny design for this character. They almost look like boots which belong to a gnome. But you know, somehow they really suit the character. And I couldn't imagine Aerith looking any different. So yeah, it's a very cute design. And so this is the side of the figure, and we have a nice profile of the face. Very nice profile. I just think the figure looks so much better than the Tifa in terms of the face sculpts. Just from every single angle, this figure looks really, really nice. But yeah, that's a look at the head sculpts, and of course we have all the sculpting in the hairpiece with this pink ribbon at the back and the ponytail. And as you guys can see here, we even have a ball hinge joints at the back of the ponytail. So you can pose it any which way you want, and it will hold that position. I'll give you guys a demo on the articulation for the figure a little bit later on. But anyhow, moving down here to the hand holding the basket of flowers. Just to give you guys a better look here. And moving down here to the pink dress piece. And of course we have the boots. And so here's the other side of the figure. And once again, we have a nice profile of the face. And the hand holding the flower, so you can recreate the scene. And the side of the jacket piece. The newly developed double hinge joints for the elbow, which once again, I'll give you guys a look at the articulation a little bit later on. And we even have these belts and buckles sculpted onto the side of the boots. Very, very nice. And so here's the back of the figure, and we have a nice look at the back of the head sculpts with this pink ribbon. And of course the ponytail, which is made out of a soft piece of plastic. And as for the red jacket piece, with all these nice textures sculpted in there. Of course we have the back of the basket of flowers, and of course the dress piece. Okay, so here's a quick comparison between both of the Aerith figures made by PlayArt Kai. So of course we have the original Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core Aerith, and of course we have the new remake. So yeah, they're both very nice figures, and they're also both a lot different from each other. Which one do you guys like better? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, so let's take a look at the head sculpts on both of these figures. So right now we have the Crisis Core. I mean, this is still a very, very nice head sculpt. I still really love this figure a lot, even though it is a lot different from the remake. I mean, now that I see it side by side, the remake looks so much better. It just looks so much more realistic, and you know, it's just a much sharper sculpt overall. And as for the body piece, I mean, it's pretty much the exact same on both of these figures. So I'll probably make like a full comparison review on both of these Aerith figures, which will be on the channel. But for this video, I just thought we would take a quick look at the main differences on these figures. But yeah, let's take a look at the jacket piece. So here we have the Crisis Core, and this is the remake. I mean, it looks pretty similar. I don't see too many differences. Maybe like the remake is slightly more detailed. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty much the same. And as for the dress piece, so as you can see, the dress piece on the Crisis Core is painted a lot more pink. Yeah, it's a much more vibrant color, whereas the remake is a very light pink. And so here's the back of the figures. So from the back, they're very similar. You almost couldn't even tell that they're different figures. They look so alike. But then moving down here, you can see some differences. But it is very subtle. So as for the back of the head sculpts, yeah, once again, very, very similar. They both have a ball hinge joints at the ponytail. And here's the back of the jacket piece on the Crisis Core and the remake. So now I gotta point out, I think the Crisis Core version is you know, she's a lot more thick, if I'm being honest. Compared to the remake version, you know, there's a clear difference here. I really don't know why PlayArts Kai puts so much emphasis into the sculpting here, but yeah, I guess that's one main difference between both these figures. And as for the sides of the figure, here we have a nice profile of both of the figures. I mean, just the design of Aerith in general is such a nice character design. Who do you guys like better, Tifa or Aerith? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, figure-wise, they're both very nice, but I've got to give it to the remake figure. It looks a lot better here from the side. So yeah, that's a quick comparison on both of these figures. Okay, so here's the figure with the alternate faceplates. So this is the faceplates with her eyes closed. And I've got to say, this one looks very, very nice. It's, you know, a very nice sculpt. It almost looks realistic from certain angles. And of course we have her hands, which is crossed over like this. In that pretty iconic scene, which I'm sure you guys know about. But yeah, that's how the figure looks with this head sculpt and the hands. Just in case you guys want to check it out. And here's how the figure looks with the other alternate faceplates. And we have her holding the staff. So it is pretty straightforward to fit the staff piece into her hand because the staff actually splits into two pieces. So it is pretty straightforward. But yeah, it is pretty nicely done. We even have some materia here embedded into the staff, like this green healing materia. Very, very nice. And this is the last faceplates, which is the angry expression. Okay, so let's take a look at the articulation for the figure. So I would say the figure's got pretty decent articulation, but the dress piece does hinder the articulation at the legs. But anyhow, let's take a look at what we have here. So as for the head sculpt, we have a ball joint in there, and this is a pretty nice joint. It's got quite a nice range of motion. So at the back, we have this ball hinge joint at the top of the ponytail. So you can actually pose that any which way you want, and it will hold the position, which is quite a nice touch. You can make some you know, nice dynamic poses. As for the shoulders, we have these ball hinge joints in here. The top of the jacket piece does restrict the articulation a tiny bit. We have swivels at the biceps. We have this newly developed double hinge joints at the elbow, which as you can see, it's kind of like two joints in one. So you can bend the elbow all the way up, like so. So we have some extra range of motion there. As for the wrists, we have these ball hinge joints. And inside the torso piece, we have a ball joint in there. Now the dress piece is made out of a soft piece of plastic, as you guys can see, but it still hinders the articulation at the legs. So basically we have like these ball ratchet joints at the hips. This dress piece also splits apart, as you can see. We have a swivel at the thigh. We have a double hinge joint at the knee, but you know, once again, very, very restrictive. We have a ball hinge joint at the ankle piece, and we have a hinge joint at the toe. So you know, overall pretty good articulation for the figure, just a little bit restrictive due to the little dress piece. So yeah, that's a look at the articulation for the figure. Okay, so that about covers it for the PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy VII Remake Aerith. So yes guys, this is such a nice figure. I mean, if you guys are a big fan of the character, then you will love this figure so much. This is by far one of the best, if not the best, remake figures that they've made so far. So yes, I highly recommend you guys pick this up. You won't be disappointed. Anyhow guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I hope it was helpful. As I mentioned before, I will have a review of every single figure here. So if you guys want to check it out, then it will be on the channel. So don't forget to ring that bell notification so you guys don't miss out on all these figure reviews. Have a great day, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Alright, take it easy guys.